Are you ready yet? Now we're ready. Welcome to worship with the Universalist Unitarian Church of Peoria. My name is Reverend Jennifer Innis. It is my great joy to be the minister with this congregation of people as we try to fulfill its mission of embracing freedom, loving inclusively, growing in mind, body, and spirit, and doing our part to create a more healthy, more whole world. With respect to history and how we understand the entirety of the world and its relationships, I want to offer our land acknowledgement. We honor the land upon which we gather as the ancestral home of the Peoria people. They welcomed the first European settlers as they came down the Illinois River. And we offer our respect to the ancestors of the Peoria people and to the people as they are today. I want to offer a note of welcome to any visitors who are joining us. If you are online, please drop a note into the chat or send an email to the church office. Let us know who you are and how you found us. And also, if you are in person, please stay with us after the service and join us for coffee and conversation out on the patio. It is a beautiful day to gather in worship. In that spirit, I also want to take a note about how we're gathering at this point. First, let me invite you to turn all of your devices to worship mode, whether that's silent or buzzy. And it is lovely to see people online in the patio and in person today. As much as we would like to be done with COVID-19, it is not done with us, to put it simply. And infection numbers are rising. We returned to masking at all times in the building for those ages 2 and up. And food and drink are outside again, including our coffee hour. We can participate in church life in so many ways, online and in person. And by all means, read the newsletter when it comes out this week. We also go paper. We're not too far from that either. I hope you will join us in all the ways that make sense for our community and for our individual health. If you have questions, please contact the TLC team. Please contact the church office. I want to offer a note of clarification about the schedule. If you were seeing some of the slides and notices on Friday, that next Sunday, May 29th, will indeed include the senior high as bridging, which is great. We get to recognize those moving from youth into young adulthood. We will also be enjoying our Music Sunday. It's been rescheduled from earlier this month, and that'll be led by the choir and the musicians under the guidance of our director, Dave Breeden. The salad lunch will be still after the service next Sunday. The benefit of that is to help improve the minister's discretionary fund, that is funds that I have available to help those who are in need, and there is truly a lot of need at this point. I also want to offer a special note We have the congregational meeting will be in 2 Sundays, June 5th. That'll be after the service, the Flower Communion, which is a service for all ages. If you don't know what the Flower Communion is, let me offer that it's a particular Unitarian Universalist service. All who gather for worship that day bring flowers to add to our common bouquet. This action represents how we each bring our unique presence and gifts into the community as we are creating and living into this beloved place. At the end of the service, everyone is invited to take a flower different than one that they brought. And this, in part, represents how we are all blessed with the gifts that are shared among us. Now, June 5th will also be Amy Popp's final in-person Sunday with us, too, before she finishes her ministry in religious education at the end of June. Stay tuned for how we will celebrate and recognize her that weekend as well. And now I want to invite Amanda Franklin up for an announcement about our art show.
Hi, good morning. Your calls for an encore have been heard. We are giving an encore performance of The Beauty of Us today after coffee hour. You'll be able to fully view all of the items that are set out in Fellowship Hall. There's over 150 of them. There will also be a 50-50 drawing, so hold on to a couple dollars in your pocket to get in on that. We'll have baked goods for a donation. There will still be crafts for all. And the crafts, there are 2 different crafts. There's a watercolor feature, and then you get to make a very cool tile with some Sharpies, and you cannot mess it up. And if you want, there's some fire. It's very fun. Safe outside, we promise. But bidding online continues through next Sunday, May 29th at noon. There's a very easy website to go to. It's very easy to register. If you're here in person today and stop by Fellowship Hall, we have some little information slips. We have some volunteers around who can help you set up and get ready to bid on GalaBid. Bid early, bid often, win those items. And there was one more thing I wanted to tell you, and I'm sure it'll come to me when I sit back down. So make sure to stop by Fellowship Hall and bid early, bid often. And thank you so much to everyone who stopped by yesterday. It was a great event, and today will be even better. Art, there it is. It came to me. Art will be open. It will be up in the church display at least through Wednesday. You can stop by during church hours and take a walk through if you have not been able to do so yesterday or today. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Amanda. And thank you to everyone who's been part of the art show. It's been truly a many hands making it possible kinds of experience. So thank you to everybody who's helped, donated, and who is bidding as well. We all appreciate it. And now let us turn to our opening hymn, number 40, The Morning Hangs a Signal. It is in the gray hymnal if you are joining us in person, or you can check out the lyrics on the screen. Please rise in body and spirit and join me in singing The Morning Hangs a Signal. Amy, you're going to do the opening? You're gonna do the opening.
Opening words are by Reverend Sharon Wiley. We speak so often of brokenness in religious life. Let us speak today of wholeness. You are welcome here, all of you. Every part of you beautiful just the way you are. Here you do not need to be something more or something less. No holding back, no hiding. No exerting yourself, no trying to do more or be more. You have inherent worth and dignity. Nothing to prove here. Nothing to prove to me or the person sitting next to you or to the children or to anyone. You don't have to try and be witty or more quiet or more outgoing. You are beautiful. Every part of you, beautiful just the way you are. You do not need to change anything about yourself to be welcome here. Your skin, your hair, your belly, your limbs, your face, all beautiful just the way they are. You are extraordinary. Each and every one of you different from each and beautiful in your own beautiful way. Breathtaking. Let us worship together.
Here today in this place and with these people, may we listen so that we may hear. May we hear so we may feel. May we feel so we may know. And may we know that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice that we light our way into this change, into this knowing, into being in this world. I want to invite you to rise in body or spirit. We're singing our number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. We'll sing it through 3 times. And Amy, would you help me out on this here? I need to go get my mask. But I think we have enough people in the sanctuary. We're going to give this a go. We're going to do this. Ooh, 2 parts. I know. Don't be going too crazy here. I know. We can do this because we know this rose and this voice can open. All right. If you would take this side, and I will take to the pulpit left, and we will sing 3 times through, and I will start with this side. Rosa, if you would get us going. Thank you. I think that's you.
Good morning. This morning, we're going to take some time to recognize the contributions of all of the amazing religious education volunteers who've given so much of their time, talent, and treasure to our UU children and youth this year, and actually the past year in this strange circumstance that we're living in. This year and last year was a little different than most, in case you didn't notice. And so it was also different in our RE program. All of the people whose names I'm going to be calling committed to working this entire year as either teachers, advisors, or RE committee members. So we had one core group that did a lot this year. Their dedication to our church family's RE program has been exceptional and priceless. With me remote and them here, it has been an adventure for us, and I think it has been a success, due mostly to them and their commitment. I will now read each of their names, and I'm going to call them forward, and I'm short some people, and that's okay. They're here in spirit. And hold your applause until all the teachers and RE committee members have been named. I am at the end, RE committee members and teachers going to hand you gifts, so hang in here to the end of this because I have a bunch of stuff down there for you, treats and gifts. All right, so our RE teachers this year, and one is in the back because she's also our nursery provider, Elizabeth Jennison, I will say her name. And then we have Amy Cordonaway. If you please come up with Scott Cordonaway. Both were teachers this year. Jessica McMeyer was one of our OWL teachers. We reinstituted our OWL program this year for K1 and 3rd through 5th, and we had 2 teachers that worked all year doing that. Channing Petrak was one of our advisors this year. She might be back with youth. And Steve Fairbanks, is he here? It's the Cordonaway show, right? There we go. Was an youth advisor all year. This year for our junior and senior high youth, we consolidated the 2 groups and they hung out together this year. Now, the next 4 people are committee members and some of them teachers. I leaned very heavily on my RE committee through the pandemic, and certainly this past year when I've been remote, and they have been exceptional, and I'm super happy to have them in my life. First is Amanda Franklin, who is doing RE and so much more, and she has been fantastic. I have Jessica Laughlin, who I think is with a child with a, oh, you did make it. Okay, good. Jessica Laughlin, who also taught a session and is on my committee through the last 2 years, helping with special events and making things happen here for the kids in our church family. I have Cindy Jewel Miller, who is on my committee, has been a stalwart help, and also taught OWL as one of my teachers the entire year for the age levels that we touched on this year. And Sarah Short, she's not here. She's my committee chair and taught all year our preschool and younger kids. Showed up every day with Bowie, her little one, and hung out and took care of things. So these people are in there. In your order of service, you should have a little blessing, and you have some parts to play. Hopefully there's an insert in there for us to kind of bless our teachers. We are all teachers of one another. We all have gifts to give the children. We honor those who would take our children under their wing and teach them. Look to your left, look to your right, all around this sacred space. And remember what you have learned from all of those around you. All teachers of one another. As our community grows and changes, help us remember to keep our children within our circle, for they are our most precious gifts, the greatest treasures we have. We honor the children. We express our gratitude to those teachers who mentor, befriend, help, advise, and care for our children. Our children will learn from 1,000 different faces and names as they grow. May we remember that those faces are all part of the mystery and miracle of life. We pray that all of the teachers of our children that in their lives they are wise, respectful, caring, and loving, as those gathered here today. We honor the teachers. Religious education is a vital part of this congregation's work. What our teachers and volunteers do is nothing short of a miracle that humbles and inspires us all, and me in particular. For what you do, know that you are respected, valued, and loved. With gratitude, we give you our blessing and appreciation this day. Blessed be. The people gathered before you have given their gifts of creativity, energy, effort, and love to the children and youth of our church family. They're changing the future and touching lives. As we move forward as a church family, may we remember their role in the nurturing, love, and care of our church's children. And may we be inspired to share each of our own special gifts whenever and however we can. Go now in peace and with our sincerest thanks and a round of applause.
All right. All right. I want to thank Amy Popp as well as being our fearless leader in religious education. Being one of the examples of how we do church in so many more ways than we ever realized was possible. Yay. And thank you also very much to all of the teachers who were volunteering this year, the religious education committee members, and to everybody who was supportive of our children and youth programs in particular this year. I know my family's really appreciated all of the effort, and I know all the families who are part of the congregation truly appreciate and are grateful for everyone's care as we support and are mutually interested and invested in our children and youth programs. So thank you, everybody. And now I want to invite us to sing out our children and youth and their respective adults as they leave for their program for today. Let us sing them out with Go Now in Peace. As we enter into this time that is in part dedicated for the receiving of our offering, I invite you to give what you will for the congregation that has meant so much to you, for the church that meant so much to those who came before you, and for the church that will mean so much to the people who come tomorrow or the next Sunday or the next Sunday, or the people far beyond any that any of us will know. I invite you to give what you will because we know that we are a generous people. We'll be passing the plate in just a moment. We'll also be able to be receiving donations online. But after we pass the plates, while Rosa offers our music for meditation, we'll have a chance to light candles together. This is the time to let what is in your heart and on your mind have a visible and tangible expression with simply the lighting of the candle in our sanctuary. If you are joining us online, let these candles be for you, for whatever need you may have. And you are also welcome to light a candle wherever you are, however you are able to. And now, let the offering be gratefully given and gratefully received. Let the plates come forward. For change, from the Reverend David Breeden. For the setting sun from an airplane window, for the rising sun from a train window after riding all night, for the rising sun and the setting sun in directions that feel foreign, for the sunlight, even when we are lost, for the times the heart has longed to be alone, for the times the heart has ached for another, for leaving in fear, for leaving in hope, for the way home and the way away, for the windows and the suns we have seen, for the windows and suns we will see, for memory and for forgetting, for the change that is our lives. In the Spirit we gather for the sharing of the joys and sorrows, names and milestones that are among us. We begin with wishes for health. We offer wishes for a speedy recovery to Adam Gudat, who's recovering at home after a hospital stay. And he welcomes phone calls for while he is recovering. Just to give a hint, he welcomes phone calls. We turn to congratulations to Emiko Yang, soon to be 95, that's 9-5, who received an honorary Master of Science Education degree from Methodist College of Nursing on May 14th. Congratulations, Emiko. To Riley Popp, we offer our congratulations, who graduated from the University of Illinois in molecular cellular biology this past Sunday, May 15th. And we offer our best wishes to him as he continues on his education at Northwestern University for graduate school this fall. So congratulations, Riley, to the family, to Amy, the proud mother, as well. And at the other end of life, we offer Nancy Taylor and her family congratulations as they celebrate the birth of Nancy's great-granddaughter, Sabrina Iris Piercy, 6 pounds, 14 ounces on May 14th to Wayne and Alexis Piercy. And of course, also celebrating the arrival of Sabrina is Sabrina's arrival is her big sister, Raven Piercy. So congratulations to Nancy and the entire family. Let us also offer our congratulations to the Reverend Rebecca Gant and the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bloomington Normal. Yesterday, they installed Reverend Rebecca as their minister. This installation was one of those long delayed by pandemic. Rebecca and I started at the same time 2 years ago. And so it was wonderful to be able to attend in person and to have the wonderful event. They had a big old tent and the rain stopped in time, thank goodness. And my spouse, Reverend Patrick Price, and I, we had the chance to offer the call to worship together, which was also a treat. So best wishes to Reverend Rebecca and to the congregation as they enter into this wonderful ministry together. And I want to offer a last note of gratitude to Bernie Humphrey and Nancy Taylor, who coordinated and staffed the plant exchange after service last Sunday. It was a lovely event. People were coming in, visiting, and exploring all the green growing things that could be. So thank you, Bernie and Nancy. Let us now turn toward a moment of shared quiet. This is our moment of holding all that is with us in our hearts and in our lives. Let this moment of gathering in a circle of care be a place that is big enough, loving enough, and authentic enough for all that is within us and with us. Let us hold this moment together as the precious moment that it is, as perhaps for some of us, the one moment of shared silence and quiet in the presence of all that is. Let us enter into this quiet together. Let us close this moment. Let us close with offering from our hearts care and compassion into our larger world. We have this wider circle that we share among us, and truly we have room for all. And we have room to extend the compassion and hope and concern and encouragement out into the world to ourselves, our neighbors, and to all. Amen. Let's turn to our hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. For this one, I'll ask we stay seated, and we'll go through it twice, once that we hum together and once sung. So let us enter into our hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. As Amy and I talked about the service for today, we wanted to pick up themes about change and transition and so on. So we get to offer a little bit of naming of that with this reading. This reading is called In Between by the Reverend Kate Walker. In between, liminal, that space where we wait. Between moments, events, results, action, no action. To stand on the threshold waiting for something to end and something new to arrive. A pause in the rumble of time. Awareness claims us, alert, a shadow of something different. In between invitation and acceptance, in between symptoms and diagnosis, in between send and receipt of inquiry and question, in between love given and love received. Liminality, letting go, entering into confusion, ambiguity, disorientation. A ritual begun, pause, and look back at once was. Look forward to what becomes. Identity sheds layer, and layer reaches into something uncomfortable to wear. In between the lighting of the match and the kindling of the oil, in between the choosing of the text and reading of words, in between voices and notes carried in the air to the ears to hear, in between creation thrusts ever forward. Social hierarchies may disassemble, structures may fall, communities may revolt or tempt trust. Tradition may falter, creativity crashes forward, leaders may step down or take charge. The people may refuse or choose. And in between, theology of process reminds us to move back. In between, the minutiae and galaxies intermingle with microbes and mysteries. And in between, liminal, that space where we wait and look and listen, feel, and breathe. Here ends the reading.
Holy is this place. Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory, the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Holy are the places of dream, the places over the rainbow, where all children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of dream. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast. And we hold on, and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. Holy are the places of connection, the places where we risk ourselves, where hands, touch souls, touch minds, and in awareness still, we change our lives. Holy are the places of connection. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision, where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole making is this place.
I'd like to invite you to rise in body or spirit for our hymn number 108 in the gray hymnal or on the slide on the screen. My life flows on. Please rise in body or spirit for My Life Flows On.
It is good to be with all of you. You know, you just never know what the wind will blow in or which way the wind will blow. The wind can soothe your soul, blow up the fiercest storm, or change directions without warning. And maybe it can even change your life. The winds of change in our lives can be very much the same. And they seem to come every season, every generation, every election cycle, every new year, every full moon. Change comes during all of these times and so many more, sometimes even more than we think we can handle. If you ask any one of us to tell the story of our life and map it out, most of us will probably list certain life-changing events that highlight who we are, moments of change in our lives that led us to being the person we are today. There are important changes and milestones in each of our lives, without a doubt. And in the last few years, I think all of us and our society at large may have had more than our fair share. At this time in this service, I want to honor the personal changes in people's lives over the past 2 years. Let's take a few moments to lift them up and air them out, so to speak. To that end, each of you should be holding a pinwheel that represents the winds of change. Now, if you'd be so kind, and you don't have to if you don't want to, as I list out some of the possible changes that may have happened in your lives over the last 2 years, I invite you to raise up your pinwheel to acknowledge that personal change. As we engage in this exploration, please look around the room at your fellow UUs. You might learn something new and make some new connections. All right, let us begin. Who has had a birth in their family in the last 2 years? I know Nancy Taylor's got to have it back there. Yes. A death. A serious medical challenge or illness. Gotten married or had a child get married in the last couple years. Gotten divorced. Lost a pet. Gotten a new pet. Yay. Graduated or had a child graduate. Had a child move out. Moved homes. Bought a home. Sold a home. Gotten COVID. Left a job. Soon. Gotten a new job just recently. Retired. And I know there's a lot more. If there's someone missing, we can yell them out if you'd like. There are so many more. Does anyone want to lift one up that was a big change in their life? So many changes have blown in the wind these past 2 years. I think we're all a little windblown. I know I am. It's been a very, let's say, blustery way to end my 20 years as your DRE. But my time with this beloved UU community has been much more than the past 2 years. I've blown through many changes, both personal and professional, during my life with this church. Believe it or not, I've spent half my life here. And now the wind is blowing me elsewhere, as it's meant to do. So since this is my finale, allow me to read you just a part of the laundry list from my time in this church family. and imagine it all blowing in the breeze. It all started when I got married in the previous building this church lived in, not knowing much about UUism at the time. Then, as I learned more, I fell in love with what it meant to be a UU and jumped into this world with both feet. I had 2 babies, Riley and Miranda, now known as Peregrine, dedicated in this church. And I became its director of religious education. After a few years of an unpredictable furnace, a flooding basement, and no AC, I helped with the process of this church making the decision to move and build a new building on this very site. I went through the UUA religious education credentialing program with the warm support of this church. Got the Share the Plate program approved by the church board. Joined the Central Midwest District Liberal Religious Educators Association and became a member of its steering committee. I was a member of our UUA Mid-America Region's Youth Programming Planning Committee. I got divorced and healed from the pain with the help of this church family. I was in plays and chili cook-offs and every other awesome special event that this church has had. I helped develop our small group ministry program and facilitated a women's covenant circle for a number of years. I instituted the Children's Walking Our Talk social outreach program and started the kids' summer camp. I was involved in our pagan group and led winter solstice services, as well as a short-lived Friday night alternative worship service series with our own Brad Kiefhofer. I was part of our congregation's Leap of Faith team. I was on the Long Rangers team that developed our current covenant, mission, vision, and goals. I presented a UUA General Assembly with Reverend Michael and our church's Breakthrough Congregation panel. I dealt with the death of my children's father and helped my children through that loss with the love and support of this church. I had my 2 babies graduate and led them through the bridging ceremony in this church to become 2 wonderful young adults. I got COVID and I learned how to use Zoom. This is not a complete list. It never could be. There are so many moments with members and friends in this church full of laughter and fun and tears and compassion and deep connection that have now blown into the world of the past, but whose memories still live sheltered in my heart. The winds of change in my life have been intertwined with this church for a very long time. And my life within this church family has filled my life with love and joy and hope for the future, as I hope it has many of you. But now, back to you. Each of you beautiful people have your own collection of big moments, each collection priceless and special. These turning points are the events that have made up your life and charted your course, the events that have made you who you are. But I would like to invite you into a slightly different understanding of these moments. The actual power of these moments of both challenge and opportunity, is to awaken us to the fact that all of life is continuous challenge and opportunity. Moments like these remind us that the reality of change is always present, whether we feel it or not, whether we register it or not, whether we mark certain events in our lives as significant or not. We are always in the process of changing, both individually and together. Change is what it is to be alive. There are no other options. At least that's what I believe. And if you can take that as a given, then what follows as really the most constant and priceless in the end is the value of our connections with others. It is most precious, most dear, most tender. Being together in communities like this, being together in person, in connecting, loving, and supportive ways is one of the most important parts of helping each other to see and thrive through both the both the challenges and the opportunities. And it's important to know that you're not alone, and to know it in your body and your heart, not just your head. Because when the winds change and the world seems to be coming undone, you need to face directly into the winds, not away from them. So what's coming down the wind to meet you? I don't know. And everything that lies between you and life's exit calls for courage, compassion, imagination, understanding, and action. The winds of change will continue to blow you away from your past, blow things out of order, and challenge your habits. But with those winds also comes opportunity. And each breeze of change opens the door for more gusts to blow in. You will all need to face those winds together, drawing on each other while you build new ways forward in the midst of the storms and the gusts. As I drift off to the windy city, I'm excited for what the wind might bring to all of you. I hope the wind stirs your spirits and gives you a sense of adventure. I hope so much for you in this coming year and in the years to come. There are a few things that I specifically want for you. First, I want you to feel open to your new DRE and their gifts, and open to the fact that they are probably quite different than you might expect. I want you to feel excited about the differences and the changes they blow in, and I want you to anticipate good things from them. Also, as our church family faces the winds of change, I want you each to feel confident in your own thoughts and feelings about what is important to you and to the life of this congregation, while at the same time you are respectful of the thoughts and feelings of others as the winds blow. You are so much stronger working together than you are separately. Above all else, I want you to see each other as I see you. Compassionate and caring, talented in so many different ways, committed to this church family, always striving to learn new ways of being together, and willing to act on your deepest beliefs. I want you to never forget that each of you is precious and needed in this community. Every one of you is worthy of our love and respect. Every one of you has value at the Universalist Unitarian Church of Peoria. I sincerely hope that together you find the road leading through any blustery times ahead to a future infused with more of the values of compassion, justice, kindness, and openness that we hold so dear. And may you always face the winds together and embrace freedom, love inclusively, grow spiritually, and help heal our world. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for my time with you. And so be it always.
I invite you to rise. Woo-hoo. Oh, yeah. Always learning, always learning. Tech 2. All right. I want to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our closing hymn, number 346, Come Sing a Song with Me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Our benediction today is entitled, The Purpose of This Community is to Help Its People Grow. If you are who you were, and if the person next to you is who he or she was, if none of us have changed since the day we came in here, we've failed. The purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another, in the other, whoever that might be for us, however hard that might be, because these encounters have many gifts to offer. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be. So may we all.